What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the channel. Welcome all my new supporters. I hope everyone is healthy and well. Today we'll be reacting to Americans are leaving the country in record numbers. This is ridiculous, man, and this has been happening for some time now. Let's jump right into it. I'm not wasting no time.
For some people, the new American dream is not to live there.
Oh, facts. That was crazy how she started off the video. I'm glad I liked it. Yo, that 5-second hook was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy right there. And it was so true.
For some people, the new American dream is not to live there. According to some sources, upwards of 9 million U.S. citizens are currently living abroad, and that number is only going up.
It's at 9 million? I didn't know the numbers was that high. 9 million? Was this like in the span of like 2 years maybe since this whole thing been happening? Or, you know, like with the United States and the other countries and everything with the tariffs and stuff, you know, it's just been a lot going on lately. Was it in that time span, or are we talking about throughout the time of history, or like maybe a decade or so? Please, I got to know, because there are a lot of Americans, you know, currently switching their occupations and moving to other countries. They got their careers lined up, and now their families, their spouse, they're moving. They're out of here, and they're never coming back. I'm like, wow. And they're doing it so effortlessly, too. As if, like, they're running. Just escape. There's no longer, like, it's no longer, oh, I'm going to miss the U.S. I don't know if we should go. Like, people are straight up waking up. I'm looking at interviews, and people are straight up waking up in the morning and deciding, you know what, we're going to move. You know how Trump wakes up and he just want to tweet? That's what these Americans, they waking up. This is literally what they're doing. And they're like, we're going to move. I don't think I want to be here anymore. Man.
Is not to live there.
This is going to be a good
According
video.
to some sources, upwards of 9 million U.S. citizens are currently living abroad, and that number is only going up. Where are they going? Everywhere, but especially Europe. I've been helping Americans move abroad for the last 20 years, and this is the first time that I've seen the top 5 countries all in Europe, starting with Spain, France, Portugal, Italy, and the Netherlands.
Really?
There's one other major difference that I've seen in my clients between pre-2024 and now. Before 2024, most of the people who were living abroad were either adventurous backpackers, digital nomads, or affluent people, maybe some jet setters or multinational employees and executives. But since 2024, the type of people who want to move abroad is really everyone and anyone. Most people moving today describe themselves as ordinary people who just want a better life, or some who feel that it's their only option, but they aren't always welcome where they go. American tourists, expats, immigrants, and digital nomads have faced waves of protests in places like Spain, Portugal, Mexico, and Bali, especially in the last year due to the sheer number of U.S. citizens abroad. Sources point to anywhere from 4 to 9 million Americans abroad, but there's no official data, so that means that many digital nomads, roaming retirees, and perpetual travelers and study abroad students are likely left out of the estimate. We do have some data on the number of U.S. citizens living in specific countries, however. For example, the number of U.S. citizens living in Portugal has increased by 5x since the pandemic, while the number of Americans in Spain, the Netherlands, and the Czech Republic has doubled. More than 10,000 U.S. citizens moved to Ireland in 2025, double that of the previous year. Some people have been calling this the Donald...
And I've been hearing a lot of Americans talk about Ireland and Scotland. My little sister is 10 years old. Check this out. She is 10 years old, and she's talking about she wants to visit Scotland, and she wants to live there one day. She for real told me that she wanted to visit Ireland one day, and like, her picks are really like extravagant. She doesn't say she wants to go to Florida or Miami. She wants to go to Scotland. She wants to go to Ireland. She wants to go to London. She wants to go to Canada. She wants to go to Australia. She wants to go to Japan. She wants to go to Tokyo. I'm like, yo, and she's only 10 years old. I'm like, my mind wasn't there at 10 years old. Like, nah, this is crazy. Like, what you know about Scotland and Ireland, it's beautiful. They got this and this. Like, laying down a list for me, and it made me so proud. Ah! I'm sorry. I try to keep my composure. I try to keep my composure. It made me so proud. I'm like, yeah, had to be listening to the videos or something. I don't know, man. It made me really proud though. So we definitely go visit. I gotta take my sister with me now. I can't do that alone. She wanna go to Scotland and Ireland, and so do I.
Double that of the previous year. Some
People
people have
move in
been
there,
calling
though.
this the Donald Dash due to the numbers of Americans spiking after the 2024 elections. But as someone who's been helping Americans leave the country for more than 2 decades, I've seen this coming for years. The
Yep.
pressure to migrate away from the US has been bubbling for a long time, fed by the rise of remote work, inflation, living costs, and the overall desire for a better quality of life. The US experienced a net migration loss of 150,000 people in 2025, and that number is expected to increase.
Yo, of course.
Now, a Gallup poll last year.
Who is leaving the U.S.? Doctors, lawyers, nurses, physicians, dentists, firefighters, policemen. Should I keep going? A lot of service workers who hold a valuable place in our economy because we so desperately need them. You know, it's one of those occupations where it's like the world wouldn't be running. It wouldn't be how it is today without you guys. You gotta, keep us healthy, keep us running as people because this is your profession. But they're leaving us and they're going to other countries. So when you go to when you drive past hospitals and doctors' offices and this and that, help wanted, looking for doctors, this and that. And I'm like, yo, sooner or later it's gonna get to the point where the US is desperate and they're just allowing anyone in to be a doctor or a nurse or, maybe half application, half experience or no experience. And I feel like it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get really bad for the US in a couple of years. Because we are on a huge shortage right now. Tradesmen's like tradeswomen, we are in a shortage. We don't have them either. They're leaving. Especially with the healthcare and stuff. I mean, come on,
Now, a Gallup poll last year found that 40% of American women aged 15 to 44 would like to live abroad if they had the opportunity, but they're not alone. All different types of people, from students and professors to small business owners, engineers, retirees, corporate workers, and digital nomads. It seems like everybody would like to try life abroad. Parents, especially, who are concerned about the deteriorating state of the US education system and especially the risk of school shootings, have also been fleeing abroad. Says one parent who lives in Germany, you don't face the prospect of your 5-year-old going into kindergarten and doing an active shooter drill here. The wages are higher in the US, but the quality of life is higher in Europe.
Imagine I want the best for my kid. I sent him to one of the best schools, and he come home talking about they had an active shooter drill, and I'm paying mad money in taxes, books, uniform, everything for your education, your safety, and you sitting here telling me that you just had an active school shooter drill. I'm pissed off. And I'm taking you out to school, as a matter of fact. Now you getting homeschooled. You going virtual. No, I'm pissed off. No, I'm serious. Nah, if it's like that, I'll protect my kids. It's cool. You sit home and do that, and you can have your fun with your friends and stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. No. My kid will have experience, and they will, they will socialize, should I say, with people. They won't be antisocial or awkward or anything, because the homeschooling, I get it. They will have experience. They will live normal lives, except just school at home for a few hours on what they really need to learn. Not going to school for 6 to 8 hours and you eating snacks and stuff in class all day, joking with your friends, getting in trouble. 3-4 hours of nice, strict learning, and there we go. You don't got to be in there all day long. Come on, bro, wasting time. You still don't learn nothing. I ain't learned nothing in 8 hours. There was days I ain't learned nothing. What you learn today, huh?
Now,
My
U.S.
mom's
government
asked me that, huh?
policies only seem to be encouraging this mass exodus from domestic initiatives that seem to be increasing the cost of everything from groceries to healthcare to gas prices to things like the Trump Gold Card, which only encourages millionaires and billionaires to live in the US tax-free. There's also the long-term trend.
Whoa. What? I've never heard that. What?
The cost of everything from groceries to healthcare to gas prices to things like the Trump Gold Card, which only encourages millionaires and billionaires to live in the US tax-free. There's also
I need some explanation behind that. Immediately. How's that fair? I thought the rich, they get taxed more. How's that fair? So now they don't gotta pay taxes? So if I don't get rich, say, we ain't get rich or well off and this and that, we're stuck paying taxes. But if I reached the achievement of getting rich, having all this money, you no longer have to give it away? Like, rich and the famous get nothing but benefits in the US. I really noticed that. Like, they don't gotta pay or do nothing. Everybody else do. If you a normal person, you gotta do it. Oh my gosh.
encourages millionaires and billionaires to live in the US tax-free. There's also the long-term trend now of an ever-increasing number of Americans renouncing their US citizenship. This number has jumped from only a couple hundred back in 2009 to 6,000 in 2020. In the last few years, it's definitely been around 5,000 or 6,000 people per year. Recently, the cost of renouncing your citizenship may be going down, so we might see even more people taking this route.
Wait a minute. So more people taking this route to be a little more spiteful? I ain't never coming back to the US. Or is it like, can't you have like a dual citizenship? You got family and stuff. You can have a dual citizenship. It's very hard to get a dual citizenship. It is very, very hard. So is it easier to give up your American citizenship and go in for another country's? Is that kind of like, do they kind of trust you more? Like, okay, so you're going to be a permanent resident with us. You're not be in and out, this and that, working with both sides. Okay, I don't mean it like that, but like, that's what it looked like. You literally playing both sides. How you a resident of this country and then a resident of this country? Like a citizen too? A legal citizen? That's crazy. But some people got that. Like, I wish I had a dual citizenship. It's very difficult to get. So I want to know, does it make the process easier? Because then you really got to take that chance and be like, well, got to give up my U.S. citizenship.
Even more people taking this route.
But you can still visit as a tourist, though, as a traveler, right?
Thousands of U.S. citizens have also been looking to get second passports through citizenship by descent from their ancestors who lived in other countries. And I'm actually one of them. But unfortunately, some countries have been restricting the ability to get citizenship by descent, such as Italy and Romania. This has directly impacted me. But on the other hand, countries such as Canada are making it easier for foreigners to claim Canadian citizenship. In the last year, 6,600 people applied for Brit.
It's so hot, guys. It's like so hot. So okay, I'm gonna do something real quick. Let's do this. Let's make this work. It's like so hot. It's so hot, and it doesn't make any sense. So now I'm gonna come up with a way. I bought a fan too. It's crazy. Like I got a little mini fan right here, and we're gonna put it to use because right now it says it's 93 degrees Fahrenheit in the room. How is it 93 degrees in the room? All right, this should be good, man. We getting some circulation, man. It say I'm checking the thermostat. I'm looking right at it. 93 degrees, ladies and gentlemen. Strac is still surviving. I don't know how I'm doing. Like, I'm surprised I'm not really melting. Like, I'm holding up pretty well right now for being worked up, right? I sweat easily, man. You know, like, this is like cruelty. You
In citizenship. In the last year, 6,600 people applied for British citizenship, 40,000 applied for Irish citizenship, and
Wait a minute.
claim Canadian citizenship. In the last year, 6,600 people applied for British citizenship,
Okay.
40,000 applied for Irish citizenship, and 50,000
40,000 for Irish citizenship?
Mexican Americans reportedly returned to their home country. The big question here is, though, is the American dream actually dead forever, or is this just
It wasn't alive to begin
a
with.
temporary migration? Well, as someone who's helped people leave the US for the past 2 decades, I can say that there's 3 main reasons why they do so. The first one is quality of life. So people are moving towards something for the most part rather than away from something. And this is something that's, I think, been consistent probably throughout human history. People are always looking to find a better life somewhere, whether that's within their country or across borders.
Right.
The second reason is the political climate, and this has been a more prominent reason in the last couple of years. So the more instability that there is in the US and the more that US policies affect you in your day-to-day life, whether that's at the grocery store or the gas pump or in your housing and utilities costs or in the level of safety that you feel or equality that you feel with your rights being respected within the country, these are all issues that are driving people to leave the country. And it's not unlike the reasons that people leave any country. But the third reason is really the cost of living, and especially the cost of healthcare in the United States. So I don't really see any of these things getting better in the near term. So I think in the short term, we're going to continue to see an increasing number of people leaving the US and also Canada for some reasons as well. And we'll see what happens long term.
Long term, those people are going to be too comfortable and they're going to refuse to come back because of what they built in another country and they've adapted to it, you know? Yep. Maybe they'll visit.
Number of Americans who would like to settle in another country has been steadily increasing since the 1970s. And I'm of the opinion that we may still be in the early adopter phase of this trend of people leaving the US for a better quality of life, more political stability, and a lower cost of living elsewhere.
That's
A
right.
researcher who spent years studying this trend says that it undercuts this American exceptionalism of we have the best quality of life, we're the best country in the world, and everyone wants to move here. Well, Americans move abroad and they find that they like life better abroad. Now, there are pros and cons to living in any country. No country is perfect, and Europe as a region and an economic bloc certainly is facing its own share of problems. One of them being an aging population, dwindling in many places in small towns and villages, also brain drain. But interestingly, this US exodus to Europe could be helping them by bringing in much needed dollars and also a lot of expertise in various sectors. Most countries in Europe actually have a skilled worker visa or a job seeker permit to help encourage this type of migration. You'll also find that college professors, students, remote workers, tech workers, and people of all walks of life are headed overseas for these types of opportunities.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Now, looking long term, a huge influx of Americans could have a direct impact on the culture, the costs, and the housing prices that many of us are trying to escape. For example, there's now more US citizens living in Norway than Norwegians in the US. At the same time, the dollar is weak.
Oh, you can't blame them. Norway is official. Norway is so nice and official. Do you know how hard it is to gain access to a Norway citizenship? So for people to actually move over there, that wasn't easy for them. Oh, it wasn't. I promise. That wasn't easy for them at all. They needed lawyers and all that. I've been doing research. Norway is like one of the hardest places to attain the citizenship. Really hard.
Than Norwegians
That's good
in
though.
the US. At the same time, the dollar
Strac.
is weakening, down 12% against the euro at the moment. And this is definitely increasing concerns among my clients about the rising costs of living in places like Europe. But for now, it's still quite affordable. There are a lot of countries worldwide where you could still live on around $1,000 per month. And most of my clients are not rich by any means. There was a long time a perception that you had to have a lot of money to live abroad, but now it's quite the opposite, that you can save money by living abroad. And on average, most of my clients earn between $2,000 and $5,000 per month from their remote jobs or their pensions and social security. So you can have a modest income and a modest lifestyle abroad and live a good life.
That is so true. A lot of people claim they need six figures and above and this and that. In the US, six figures is now the median, ladies and gentlemen. It is. It's the lowest you can make to survive now in the US. Anything lower, you're screwed apparently. I'm so serious. They say six figures is not even enough, but apparently you could take five figures and you can go to another country abroad and live so much more cheaper, comfortably, excuse me, comfortably. I'm not cutting that out either, man. We all human. we, we all human, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like you could live comfortably in a whole nother country and everything. Oh, why my camera do that? And you, to top it off, better health care, so you're not spending money on that. You know, better child support, like where it comes to actual child support, not being put on child support. I mean, like child support from the teachers, the school, the government, or this or that. Like everyone is all in it for each other. The kids are safe. It's a safer environment. The kids are learning more. They're adapting to more. You bring your American kids to countries like the UK, Norway, Canada, man, Germany. They're going to be like, wait a minute. What is going on here? These kids is moving fast. Babies, they are moving fast. They are being educated at a very young age, and they are put to the test out and about, climbing trees and everything. Yeah. So the kids is growing up even different. Like when you look at how they're built, I believe they look strong. Them babies look like they would have took me they would have took me down as a baby, man. They would have definitely handled me. I'm like, man, them babies look built. They're doing things better and they're doing things differently in these other countries, and Americans see it. I see it. So I know other Americans see it. It all comes down to how you wanna raise your family. You know, what type of respect you got for yourself. What do you want your kid to be like? How you want to raise your kid? I'm thinking like if I'm American, cool, but I have the full option, the full choice to have a kid in a completely different country. Like I could be American, and if I truly wanted to, my kid could be British. I think that's fly. Oh, I think that's fly. I'm being honest. My kid, I don't think my kid gonna be. I think my kid's not gonna be American. My kid is not gonna be American. Keeping 100. We don't know where he may be, but yeah. And I want to have some places out abroad as well because, boy, I be going on trips and I be like, man, nice. Now imagine you had like a little feng shui out here, a little getaway. It don't gotta be a little vacation. 3 days, 4 nights. Man, we could come down here and stay for a month or two, live here, go back to another country. But then you need like dual citizenship and this and that. So it really depends what country you're gonna be staying at long like that. 40,000 people got a Ireland citizenship. Really? That's really? It's that popping? Ireland is that popping? Is it better to gain an Ireland citizenship over the what citizenship? What was the other citizenship? I think she just said a UK citizenship, and then she said an Ireland citizenship. Yeah, a British citizenship and then a Ireland citizenship. Which one is harder? But only like I think it was like 6,670 people only got the British one. But then 40,000 and then 50,000 for Mexico and stuff. We're like, what? That's huge lump sums of people. They keep going out at a rate like that, America's gonna be empty in no time.
Abroad. And on average, most of my clients earn between $2,000 and $5,000 per month from their remote jobs or their pensions and social security. So you can have a modest income and a modest lifestyle abroad and live a good life. The number of people who hope to immerse themselves in a foreign culture, however, are often surprised by the number of Americans living abroad, which really provides an opportunity to find places off the beaten path. There's apparently even a plaza in Madrid that locals refer to as Plaza USA because of all the expats that hang out there. Now, when I first told my family that I wanted to move abroad many years ago and that I wanted to live in Europe permanently someday, they were pretty confused, especially my grandfather. His family moved from Eastern Europe to the US for a better life, and he was like, why would you want to go back there when we did so much to be able to come here? And all I could say is that things change a lot in 100 years, and sometimes things come full circle. I don't think I'm the only one who is looking to return to my roots of my ancestry over in Europe. Maybe you are as well. If you're interested in following my journey.
To be honest, man, I got family everywhere, and we've been doing some deep research, and I got proof. My ancestors and stuff. I have proof. I got British ancestors. I got Irish ancestors. I got Scottish ancestors. Australian. Like it gets deep. Canadian. If I find a proof of all this stuff and show proof of their citizenships, then I could be possibly able to get myself a citizenship for a country that I like, of my choice. But we'll see. It's a really long process, and we've been digging deep, and we've really been trying, but so far we've only scratched the surface. So it's definitely going to take some time. But will I be visiting in the meantime? Of course, yes. Of course. There's always more to do and everything. I think it's best to visit countries and get an idea first. Then when you travel, you can actually learn, educate yourself, experience, and then you can actually see firsthand which countries truly suit you. Speak to the locals, learn thoroughly, because once you get a citizenship, you're gonna have to fight for what you want. You gotta prove to these people, It's not going to be easy at all for anyone. At all. So you literally have to prove as to why you deserve it and why you can be trusted to come within this country. So it's best to choose wisely, because I've seen a lot of stories as well of people saying that they regret choosing certain countries, or, Americans don't do this, or watch this before moving here. I wish I knew this before moving here. I should have moved here. You got to do the proper research first, and don't go with the hype of the beauty of the beaches and this and that, because it's deeper than that. We ain't dealing with the beach every day, baby. You know what I'm saying? We ain't dealing with this and that every day. There's certain things that we need to take account for. Healthcare, our kids, the foods, the areas, the environment, We need to take everything into consideration, because you'll be living around that and dealing with that for the rest of your life. So, if you didn't find yourself complaining about anything in the United States, then all right. You may not really complain in another country, honestly. But let me tell you something. Us Americans notice all the BS happening in this country, all the things that are unfair, overpriced, and this and that. This is why we're leaving. So when we go out abroad, we are mind blown. We're like, bro, our money? And I see why a lot of people say you can get so much for the US dollar. In the US, you can't. But when you go to another country, us people, we are adapting. And we've grew up in the US our whole lives. So we're used to the expensive prices and the pricing for this or that, or paying $3, $4 for a bottle of water. You go to another country, it's dirt cheap. You're looking at them, huh? Oh, it's really? You confused because of how cheap it is. You almost feel guilty. And that's ridiculous. And that's sad. And that's literally what it's like. Ladies and gentlemen, I motivate you all to travel abroad and get a better experience. Learn, educate yourself, become more intellectual, because when you move to these other countries as well, you have to be able to adapt and grow and be able to speak with the locals. Straight up, if you really want to be a part of it as a citizen, I feel like you should. And I feel like it's going to get to a point eventually when some of these countries get to testing you or something. Can you speak our language? Do you know the anthem? Do you know this or that? Ah! Do you know the laws and the driving? It's going to get bad. So y'all better take advantage and educate yourselves and choose wisely. Cause I know I will. You know what I'm saying? I know I will. I already got it in the back of my head where I want to invest to. I got so many places. Oh my gosh. But as far as like moving there, if I had to move, there would be one place I would move to right now. Please share your honest thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. As an American or anyone else abroad, where do you plan on moving to if you are actually considering? You know, what are some of the places you have in the back of your mind? Go ahead and lay them down right in the comment section. Be completely honest. And if you actually feel comfortable, or if you actually feel like it, please list some of the reasons as to why this country won you over. Especially my Americans, because this is what this video is really specifically dedicated towards. Why are you leaving America? What's your legitimate reason as to why you need to go right now? And you must get this other citizenship. You must. Let me know in the comments. I love you all so much. Stay safe, and I hope to catch you all in the next reaction video. The reason why I ask is because you'd be surprised with some of the things people say, and it's not included in some of the videos that we watch. A lot of things, that people think about. We all think about different things. So I like hearing everybody's perspective, because maybe some things that I don't think about, seriously. Or maybe you haven't thought about before. Catch you on the next one. And you know that.